Welcome back, my friends and fellow gamers. I'm Wrath, and we're back for another episode of Surviving Alone in Space Engineers. As our modded game is going, I looked at the requirements of defenses. So, we could put up guns, but they're useless because any gun that we put up needs ammo. So. And more importantly, our production does not allow us to develop any ammo beyond simple weapons. So this constructor needs to go, but not immediately. We need to replace it with one that will be more long term. So for that, I want to go ahead and put on a new assembler. And I think for government work here, we're going to do this one. And I need to grab a steel plate first. Alright, so now we need to put everything together here. So, alright, we're going to need more motors, more computers for sure. Alright. Let's take those. Alright, so we need 10 displays and metal grids. Okay. So all in all, shouldn't be too bad on this. Although I probably got the iron elements, all the steel plates all wrong. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I need a ton more computers. So this will get us... Oh, we need more cobalt. So let's pull the cobalt down. There we go. No need to worry ourselves unduly. Okay. So it's down to computers, metal plates, and the like. I forgot how much computers this thing needs. So from here, the major concern is going to be two things. It's going to be exploration and exploitation. We need to be able to explore the areas around us and exploit the resources that we find in those areas. Now I'm thinking of a couple of ways that we could do this. The first is probably we're going to need a mining drone of some kind. Which means some work. But the other thing we're going to need is a ship to carry us about. And I think that the only really reasonable answer to that is to create sort of a mega ship that we can deploy as, you know, we can move around the sum total of our base as needed. It's not ideal, but it does get us something. But I don't think that we can really manage that without a reactor of some kind. Because if we try to do it on just atmospheric engines, we're gonna be seriously hurting. So what's our charge here? 49%. Alright, so the new assembler can do everything. So the big question is going to be superconductors. Gold. Alright, so we're still doubly screwed. Without magnesium, or what is this? Field emitters. Without magnesium or gold, we are going to be in a fit. Yeah, we're gonna be in a real bit of trouble. Oh, tank cannon ammo only requires iron. Okay. So, tank cannon. So we can place these kinds of turrets and fuel them, and they can be a sort of sentry system. However, we do need to place them on something that we can actually access to fill them with ammo. Okay. That makes it at least feasible for us to have some kind of combat capability. It's not the best. I mean, I could ask for quite a bit more, but I mean, let's take what we can get at this point. So let's do this. Let's just put alright, that's cheaper, but I would still need some way to access. So I would need Might just be cheaper to put a small it's going to be cheaper to put a small cargo container down rather than something else. So let's do that. Let's just toss down a small cargo container. And then stack one of these bad boys up on top. And since most of the threats we know of are that way, let's build that one facing that direction. Alright. So let's go over to this assembler here. And let's do this. Let's take all of this from the basic assembler and throw it in the big boy. Alright. Now let's go ahead and go into the production of the assembler. Alright, put that in. And the tank turret. And we can tear down that one. And once these are done, I can simply... Okay, so... how do I put this in the... Okay, so... Okay. Getting thirsty. I'm gonna want to tear this vehicle down. Like, as much as it did good for us, I want to replace it as soon as possible with something a little bit more practical and a little bit more maneuverable. Because while it did good service for us, it was designed for a very specific purpose, and that purpose is no longer necessary. Okay. Alright, so that stuff was clearly transferred over here. Yeah. Alright. Oh, the fact that we will have a defensive gun is very, very pleasing to me. Alright.
Energy low.
Turret. Aiming radius 800 meters. Enable idle movement, I guess. Target meteors on. Target missiles, don't bother. Small ships, yes. Large ships, yes. Target neutrals off. Enable guidance. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that does. Okay. Let's make some ammo. Let's go ahead and I don't know what the rate of fire on that thing is going to be, but let's do a quick 500 rounds. Alright, I feel a lot better now that we have at least some form of defensive weapon. And had I known that those turrets were a viable option, I would have built one originally with the vehicle to make sure that we had something on it that could defend us. But, you know, c'est la vie. Let's go ahead and take a bunch of these and slap them into this turret here. Alright, so it's loading itself right now, which is great. Alright. The only thing I'm concerned about is the maximum elevation of the gun. Because if it's not able to fully elevate, then we will have a serious problem. Oh, here comes something. Let's do this. Azimuth turret cannon. Turn off the idle. I can't control it. Okay.
Energy low.
Okay, let's get in and prep ourselves here. Now, whatever that is that's coming over this way, hopefully the turret will respond. That thing must be really high up there, or it's not broadcasting. Just having that float over my head scares me. got the last of the ammo in here. Ugh. That turret, I'm hoping that it will be the thing that I need for all of this, because otherwise life will get complicated. Anyway, let's go ahead and tear these down. Since we no longer need them. Now it's good to know that we've got options now. Hopefully this thing will be enough for us to have adequate defense. It makes me nervous though, having it twitch around like that. I'm not sure of its elevation control. Alright. Well, let's get to work on the next part of this. We need to be able to travel. We need to be able to mine. Range and mining, so trying to decide how to accurately take care of this. We've got our power, and that reminds me we can do a new LCD here. Okay. Okay, so we're at about 58% on the batteries, which is good. got minimal charge being drawn. Alright, so what do we want to do vehicle-wise? We should plan on something. So many really, really difficult choices here. I should probably build a construction arm so that I can build out whatever I need out here. The question is, what do I need? I mean, this vehicle, a ground vehicle can be fun, but it has a very limited capability because it has to stay on the ground. Flying vehicles likewise can be very useful, but only to a limited capacity, because the more weight you add, the more engines you have to add, which means the more cumbersome they become. Difficult choices. I could use a rotorcraft. That is to say, using the script for rotor control to make a ship that is much larger. These are technically rotors. Like if I access this thing, it's technically a rotor. So if I go in here, attachment base plate, it's a rotor. So if I grouped this, if I used the rotor script, I could make a small vehicle with two of those panels on the side of it to give it large engines. That would be very, very useful, especially if I did it for a mining vehicle. Because then it could carry a much more significant weight. I mean, the engines are still going to be massive. But I wonder if I could reverse that. Have a large size vehicle using smaller thrusters. That also could be a possibility. I think I'm overthinking this. Like most things, I overthink far too often. Ooh, a ladybug. And that's within 3 kilometers. If it launches anything, we may see what the guns are good for. Just in case I have to defend myself. Nope, okay. Ladybug is out of range. Well, at least we have the gun. Oh, I just realized something. That thing might shoot through the tower. That would be like a tragedy to have it blast that tower, have a block in the center come out, and the whole thing come toppling down. Alright. I gotta think of a design. I'm not good at thinking these things up on short notice. Ground vehicles have worked for me before, and I'm fairly competent with them, but I'm not very good with air vehicles. I tend to crash them quite a bit. Let's move this out of the way. Let's move this over by the wind turbine, so it's out of the way. Actually, let's turn it around. Alright, let's go through and see what all is drawing power. Okay, 20 kilowatts. Connector. Not drawing any power. These need to draw power. That's drawing no power. Okay. Okay, shut those down as well. And then all of the wheels, turn those off as well. Okay, well that got me a little bit of extra power. When did that get damaged? How and when did this get damaged? Okay, now I need to see. Was there some kind of attack? Is anything else damaged? No. Why did that become damaged? That's weird. Alright, that settles it. The fact that that got damaged means that there's no reliable way to be sure that we're going to be able to do anything. So I'm going to need to build a mothership of some kind that I can use to carry me around and do all the things that I need to do. So I need to spend some time designing, because any major ship like this is going to need some design time. I'm thinking a bay about 5 wide, so big enough for this thing to fit inside of it if necessary. And then I'm thinking maybe I don't know. be some kind of secondary, like maybe an upper and lower bay. So I could do a lower bay for a vehicle, wrap the guts of the ship around the top of that, and do an upper bay for a flight capable, like a drone or something that or an aerial miner that I can fly off and use. Both of those work. And that should keep the relative size down. Let's see, let's use this tower as a scaling. So it would need to be 3 high, 5 wide, 3 high for any kind of craft, or I could do 2 high and have any vehicle that's going into it have to kneel down, maybe? I think 3 high is going to be my better solution, because then I can put a connector that is able to adjust in that space. Okay. Alright, I'm definitely gonna have to think this design out. Sort of a carry-all. Or maybe, you know, maybe that would be the idea. Build one of these vehicles, like a vehicle of some kind that's designed to merge block up. Oh no, you can't do, well no, I could use these in reverse to create a merge block system where one of these vehicles comes up and merges with a larger ship, and so it works like a carry-all. I can build this vehicle with an adapter on the top of it, and the carry-all can have the adapter on the bottom. Then it's just a matter of land, drop the vehicle off, move the larger ship away, and then drive off. That could work. Okay, so that would definitely take care of that. I think we'll use these kind of plates for the bottom layer, so that way I can make basically a flat ramp for it to land on. And then if I put landing gears down, they'll touch just above the ground, so it'll be just big enough so that these kind of wheels will hit like right in the middle and have to pop up to get in. It's not a perfect system, but I mean, it'll work. Maybe. Or I could do it the other way around. In either case, it looks like I've got a lot of experimentation to do. I think I'm going to need to move the survival kit off of this vehicle and onto the base, and then I'm probably going to need to enclose most, if not all, of this into some kind of protective casing so that I don't get it all blown to hell while I'm not looking. yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to start looking at everything that I need for that ship. Now, I can do an assembler with 2 of these refineries rather than a major refinery, and that should cover my needs long term, because the larger refinery obviously has space requirements that I'm not really ready to meet. And for a mobile vehicle, it might be better to just have the larger frame available. So we need those. We need cargo capacity, obviously. We need I don't know. Actually, wait a minute. There were all sorts of blocks that I got a bunch of yeah, okay, so I got a boarding ramp that I could use. How big is this thing? Okay, so that's not gonna work for a big vehicle. How big is this thing? Whoa. That's massive. That might be fun on a base. Okay, those are the welding pads, which are definitely useful. Okay, I don't know what an azimuth launcher is. I'll bet it's some kind of missile launcher. Let's see here. AP missiles, anti-air Wildcat missiles. Azimuth shotgun rounds. Tiger shells. 200mm missile container. So I'll bet these are what are used by the azimuth launcher. It seems to be a fixed mount weapon. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, so there's a variety of options here, none of which I like. Okay. Huh. I'll have to look more through all of those. Marauder cockpit. We could make a motorcycle. That might make for getting around a little bit easier. Let's get rid of that. Alright, I think I've wasted enough time looking at my options, and what I really need to do is go into my build lab and experiment with... I lost a whole battery on this side. Where's this battery? That must have been what broke when I hit. I didn't see it. Dang it. Shoot. That's a big loss. Alright, until next time, I'm Wrath. I hope you've enjoyed. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications so you can see when I put up new videos. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.